Mark.
And now, stand and cheer for your Basketball Weekly.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Talking Basketball Weekly, and we are talking about the NBA Finals. I am Mark.
Hello, I'm Paul.
Hello. NBA Finals, which of course feature Boston Celtics representing the Eastern Conference, and for the West, the mighty Dallas Mavericks. I'm just going to keep this really brief this week. It's just not the best start that I wanted to see. We're 2 games in.
I don't even really need a beer for this one, do I?
We're 2 games in. No, you don't. It's just, look, I will say this. The first game, Boston won it, hands down. They were up. I think I wrote it down, 29 points in the first half. Just nailed them. And Porzingis came back for the Celtics. He's been it's ironic really because he was sort of stop-start with Dallas at the time, and at the same time you've got Kyrie who played in Boston, and he's playing for Dallas. So you've got those two visiting, should we say, their old teams, and yeah, Celtics just owned them, absolutely owned them. It was 19-point victory in the end. Wasn't even close. That first game is fine. If you win a first game, it's a 7 series. You're at home. You are the league champions, and I think they got 63 or 64 wins for the whole season, the Celtics. So they're gonna do all right at home. What happens when they go away to Dallas? That's the next question.
Well, I found a stat on this, which I'm trying to find now for you. But the stat is, here we go. This is a great stat, and it's a bit similar to really good one. You told me this. 86.1% of the teams that go up 2-0 in the NBA Finals end up hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy by the end of the series.
Damn.
While the outcome could be predicted, there is no space for complacency. A lot of moving parts.
Wow.
So 86.1% is on the side of the history is on the side of the Celtics. Weird interview with Brown and Shaq. Shaq was kind of after game 2 was saying, he phrased it a certain way, like keep your head on, don't start chasing titles, keep your head on straight. And then the other commentator next to him went, do you understand, to Jaylen Brown, do you understand what he just said? And he went, no, I didn't understand. And it's like, he's a smart guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and super clever.
And then Shaq went, all right, I'm going to break it down for you. Doesn't matter who the best player on your team is, whether it's Jason Tatum, it's, do you get that title at the end? Hey, I was going to add Drew Holiday on the end of that.
I tell you what, Drew Holiday.
He might be
for game 2. So look, we'll just do game 1.
I want him to be
game 1, 107
MVP.
to 89. They absolutely slapped Dallas. And what was funny was that Kristaps Porzingis came back after being off injured, and you go, is he going to be any good? 20 points, 6 rebounds, 3 blocks off the bench as well. And what was really, really good was they actually made a point of saying, the coaches was talking about what's going to happen with Porzingis, and Coach Mizuno said, look, I brought him off the bench purposely rather than start him, because it's like, you've got to step back into the game rather than that. And that was actually a tactical move, bringing him from the bench rather than starting him, which I thought was really quite a clever move actually. He came in, disrupted the whole game. You got only 22 points for Jaylen Brown, 20 points for Kristaps, 15 points for Derek White, 16 points for Jason Tatum. And you think, okay, that's no one's doing 34, 40 point games, but because every single person on the team was contributing. Whereas if you go for Dallas, it was like Luka on 30, PJ Washington had a bit of a slow one on 14, and Kyrie's on 12 points for that game.
It feels like really the Garden's really affecting him. Well, and I don't know if anyone noticed this, because I don't know what footage they're doing on like the NBA league pass, but the Celtics on the do you call it? The mega? No, what do you call it?
Like the Jumbotron.
Jumbotron, yeah. So for game 2, they put Kyrie's quote on game 2 saying, Kyrie Irving says, I thought it'd be louder.
Yeah.
As they introduced Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
He got a lot of boos on that second game for sure. And in that first game, here's a stat for you. Boston hit 16 3-pointers.
Wow.
And they went on a 14-0 run when Dallas got within 8 points. So you think, oh, Dallas, like, hey, we're doing all right here. No. And they went on an immediate 14-point run. That's how they won that first game. And then they flattened them. So game 2, you think Dallas have got to do something. They've got to do more. But what were they going to do? And they didn't have tactically, they didn't have an answer. Because Dallas like to go down through the center. That's how they kind of like to run it. Whereas Celtics have got options for shooters. We can swing it to Tatum. You can swing it to Derek. He's having a phenomenal season at the moment. Give it to Jalen. Now Kristaps is back. Give it to him. Like they've got so many options. Then Drew Holiday's just there, popping around. And I loved in game 2, he was the deciding factor. 26 points, 11 rebounds for one guy. That's game 2 all over. He just literally took that game over. Interestingly, Porzingis.
26 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 11 for 14.
Yeah.
That is finals MVP status.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
That will be the greatest thing that's ever happened if Drew Holiday wins finals MVP.
Especially as if he left from the Bucks and he got traded from the Bucks that he didn't realize he was getting traded.
But that game, 26 points, Jason Tatum, 18 points, Jaylen Brown, 21 points.
See, this is where it's interesting. Jaylen Brown, 21 points, 3 steals. He's done really well. And he put in like 22, 24 points, I think it was the first game. Yeah, 22 points first game. So Jaylen Brown, he's doing what he was, and he makes the moves and he cuts in. He's quite an aggressive player. I like that. Tatum's on 16 points. Then the next game, he's on 18 points. He's kind of conservative, but he's all around. He's moving the ball a lot, but he's not a high scorer. But maybe that's not his role because they've got so many people who are scoring 20, 16, 18. I would rather have 5 people who get 16 points than one person who gets 60. And maybe that's just me. I know the maths don't quite add up, but you understand that.
I know what you're saying.
And that was proved by James Harden. Look what he was like in Houston. He would sit there and put like 50-point games or 45-point games. He was a monster. They kept losing because they just got one guy always hitting it. And that's the problem with that Mavs have at the moment. If Kyrie isn't flowing, Luka's only getting, Luka got 32 points in that second game. 32 points, 11 rebounds.
I did wonder after that game, would the last person to win MVP on a losing team was...
that was the first time Dallas have got a triple-double in...
It's the Lakers.
Yeah.
Lakers guy. Mr. Logo.
Jerry West.
Yeah, it was him. And I wonder if that could happen again. I don't think it ever would now. They're just going to go, who's your franchise player? Yeah, you have it. But they do need to sort of celebrate that. It's funny for being a Mavs fan, but when you see everyone in the league is supporting the Mavs, it's like only the Boston supporters are Boston. No one else wants Boston to win. I don't know why. I think the whole world, well, definitely everyone in America, other than everyone in Boston.
Well, I think a lot of people have looked at it, like you said, Boston have had quite an easy journey. They've just floated in. And Dallas have actually fought through to get, first round Clippers. Oh, good. I was expecting that.
Look, you know who deserves this, Mark?
Who?
The Washington Wizards. And the reason I say that, don't forget, this is a friendly reminder that the Celtics got Porzingis and 2 first-round picks for Marcus Smart.
Yep.
And they couldn't have done it without the Washington Wizards.
No, they absolutely couldn't. They absolutely couldn't. It's weird how you see all those little trades go around and you think, why is this player important? Well, he's the reason that I think one of the ones they call as Paul George is one of the big trades, because that's one of the reasons that Shai Alexander went from Clippers, went to OKC, then other people moved and everyone went around. There's a whole 3 or 4 team trade thing. But I'll be honest, I'm going to look at the trades this year a bit more, because last year I tried following it My brain just blew up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, too many people moving. But anyway,
So
look,
Luka's injured. So he's wrapped up
No,
like a bloody mummy.
well, this is the thing. Porzingis.
He's getting ready for the next film, Mark.
Porzingis.
Is he injured?
Porzingis apparently is.
Not Porzingis, Luka.
He's got an injury. He's carried an injury all the way through.
He looks like he's got ice on his knee, ice on his shoulder.
So he has bleeding knee. One of his knees always bleeds, and it's like
Inside.
well,
Wow.
If you see the back, have you seen the pictures where it's like on the every single game you watch it on the kneecap is always a big red blood dot.
Ugh.
Yeah.
What, do they stick a needle in and rip it out? Like
no, he's done something to his knee, and I don't think they've released exactly what it is. They're just like, it's treating because there's an injury or something. And whether it's something that opens up or something that is like, what's it called? You know, where it like swells up to a point where maybe they have to burst it to relieve pressure or something. I don't know. But it's always on his knee. And that's why if you see him, I mean, he's been the first player to say, he says it himself, I'm not quick. I'm not a fast person. And if you see him when he was a kid, he wasn't super fast. He's not like a guard fast, but he's definitely slowed down. And his knee definitely is causing him issue. But that's no excuse.
I've got visions of Semi-Pro. Do you know that film?
Yes, yeah.
Where,
Will Ferrell.
What?
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, Will Ferrell. Yeah. But you've got who else is in it? It's
What do you mean? Who else is in it?
Woody Harrelson. He has his knee drained because he says to that girl, "No one does it like you. Go on, can you do it?" And then you see her with a massive needle draining his knee. Remember that?
I vaguely do. Yeah.
Yeah, Semi-Pro. Anyway, so hey, you mentioned James Harden. We got to talk about this. The big news. Did you see it?
What? His girlfriend.
One of our listeners sent it to me. His girlfriend, she didn't catch that. That bouquet got thrown directly at her over a crowd of people, straight to her. He was at a wedding. His missus catches the bouquet. His face afterwards is like he is like doing a stare down on the bride. Like,
yeah.
He's looking at her going, "This might be your day, but oh, hang on, where is it? Let me do it. I can do it here now."
Do what?
Yeah, it's James Harden was looking at it going, "Hey, this might be your wedding day, but you, yeah." That's what he was like.
I was thinking he was just going to give a buzzer and be like, "You didn't catch it."
I think he turned
Fumbled
away
it.
and started smiling.
Fumbled it. You fumbled it. You didn't catch it. It doesn't count.
But hey, look, you got to talk about. I like what you're saying with the Celtics. You got to talk about their journey. 4-1 against Miami, and 4-1 against the Cavaliers in the next round, and then the Pacers. It's a sweep, 4-0. But where I'm going with this, Mark, is look, injured Miami Heat, injured Cleveland Cavaliers, injured Pacers, no Jimmy Butler, no Terry Rozier, no Duncan Robinson, no Donovan Mitchell, no Jarrett Allen, no Chris LeVert, no Tyrese Halliburton, no Benedict. I can't say his name. I'm not going to butcher it. I'm not going to even butcher it. But there you go. It's like, look, there's your Eastern Conference champions.
Yeah.
And look, you just sent me a clip with bloody Luka Doncic's freaking leg bleeding all over the place. It's like,
yeah,
man.
Do you know what? People have injuries, and someone said it, and I don't know who it was in the press conference, but they said at the beginning of the season, one of the players had said, "That's all very well getting to the playoffs, but how well's Luka going to fare after doing the whole season, fitness-wise, and then you've got to do a playoffs?" Now look at, like you've just said about the run, look at how many games they've had to play extra than Boston have, because Boston, I think it's like 4 extra games just straight off the bat. Could be wrong here, but he's injured, and then he's carrying it because he's like, I can't sit out. So the guy who's got the most amount of points in the NBA this year, the highest scorer, you're not getting him to score. He got 32 last game.
No, I know what you're saying.
So he got 32 the last game, and it was only a 7-point game in the end. So both of these are in Boston. Can they go and win? Game 3 is like,
game 3 is it. Like, Dallas don't win it, it's done. But look, I got got a highlight. Boston won everything during the regular season.
They did, yeah, 100%.
So when everyone's looking at going, yeah, Dallas is going to win, I think people are talking with their heart.
They are, but also when they played Dallas, they didn't have Kyrie and Luka together for, I think, 2 of the games because they were injured. One or the other was injured at any one point. So they actually, that stat doesn't quite add up, if that makes sense. The exact team that they're playing against, I think it's 1-1.
This is why people are rooting for Dallas. I've got
Excuse me.
a great graphic for you there.
Yeah, you don't need
So
to see
that is all the decades of NBA championship winners. And you can just see Boston Celtics all throughout. I mean, a huge run in the 60s and then, you know, they're dotted around. But then you got one at Dallas. That's why everyone's rooting for it.
Pre-1980 doesn't count. That's my opinion.
Wow.
And that means, as you rightly pointed out, I forsake my Sonics winning their trophy. But I stand by it only because that's the 3-point. The 3-point is, you know, Steph Curry. It's changed the game. That's it. The 3-point has changed the game.
Yeah.
So you can't compare those to those. It's just a different game.
But let's see. Game 3. All to play for.
All
game
to
3.
play for.
Let's see what happens.
But
When's game 3?
It's going to be on Wednesday. So it's Thursday for the UK.
Yeah. Thursday
so
for the UK.
we're recording this on a Monday. It's going to be in like 3 days' time. So they get a few days off. They get to recover. That I think is great. You know, you wouldn't want to be doing back-to-backs. But here's the thing. They're going to Dallas. So ideally, and this is not just because I'm a Dallas fan, I want to see a 6-game series at least. So in an ideal world, Dallas win these next 2. Because then you got 2 apiece.
Yeah.
And everyone's saying, oh my God, Celtics.
Then it's different. It's different.
They're saying Celtics have like tramps Mavericks, and you go, no, hang on, they had home advantage and they won through advantage.
Let's see what happens in game 3.
Exactly.
Game 3 is big. Forget all the game 3 is if Celtics win that, we're done.
And
we're
exactly
done.
what you said that Shaq was saying to Jalen, just you've got to win the next game. That's
Win it.
Don't
win
worry
it,
about
and then we'll worry about all that because they're going. He's going to win MVP, Finals MVP.
Yeah.
I want to do a shout out to Dallas Mavericks Vice President Michael Finley,
The snatcher.
the snatcher. I saw this clip where you got Luka Doncic. He's drinking a beer after clinching, getting to the finals, and VP Michael Finley walks past him, gives him a cuddle, gives him a high five, then takes the beer off him and walks off to him, leaving Luka Doncic looking like a naughty little boy. But I saw that and went, that is the right decision to do.
Well, he's standing there having a drink with his dad. So he's next to his dad. And he comes over.
You're a professional athlete. You shouldn't be drinking.
And it's literally straight after the game, isn't it? And
Yeah.
they've just won these the West Conference Championship. So you go, yeah. And it's literally like he's had one sip and he's gone, oh, that's good. And then he's come over and gone,
taking it off
that's
him.
it. That's all you're having.
Thing in America, I don't think people realise this, but their beer cans are like our Coke cans.
Oh, they're tiny.
So they're
aren't they?
quite small. But either way, I'm with the vice president on this one. Look, when you're Michael Jordan and you're going for your 6th championship and you've just won a game, you have a beer.
Yeah.
Like when you haven't won a championship yet, I'm right behind Michael Finley on this one.
I'll
Take the beer off him.
I'll also go one further. When your athleticism is in question, and certainly with your physical thing with your legs and stuff, you maybe don't want to be having that just at that point. You maybe probably want to just properly rehydrate and do a LeBron, get a couple of bags of ice on your legs. But, you know, we'll see. I think I'd love to see just even the first one win because it just makes it so much more spicier in these finals.
Yeah, you're right. And I know we talked about it before that with the Celtics, you got a great defensive duo there. And with the Mavs, you got a great scoring duo, but Kyrie isn't really contributing so far. But
Jaylen Brown has absolutely, I can't say enough. Him and Drew Holiday, is in terms of their defensive acumen to contain Kyrie and to cause issues for Luka, not making them easy shots. Those two are probably one of the most prolific scorers in the whole league, and they've just seemed to have shut them down. So now it's like Gafford and all the others, Lively, D-Live, you want to step up and you want to get all these players involved a bit more. But let's see what happens.
See what happens. Game 3 is huge.
And did you see what else was in the news for the NBA? When they're talking about the coaches for the Lakers.
Oh, yeah.
They were looking at a coach. I think it was UConn. They were looking at him being a coach. I think it was going to be something like apparently a $70 million contract.
That's nice.
For a
isn't it?
long amount of time. Reports are he has declined that. So it looks like they're now going to do talks, and JJ Redick's back on the table again, along with some other people. But this guy has been winning. He's done really, really well. He's been offered a lot of money to go be the head coach for the Lakers, like $70 million.
But he's probably getting a lot from where he is, though. Maybe not 70
Not
million,
$70 million and being the head coach for the Lakers. But let's ask you this. Why would you, if you go, where would you want to coach? I want to coach one of the biggest teams ever in the NBA. That much money, and you're getting a guaranteed long-term contract. Why would you turn that down? And he said, no, I'm going to go back to UConn because we want to do the repeat.
He wants to do the repeat. That's why.
No.
Yeah, he is.
No.
That's what it is.
I'm imagining
You feel there's LeBron.
I think that's the factor.
I think they should make LeBron coach. Simple as that. He's running the plays and stuff like that. Make him the coach.
Well, this guy has said, this is my coaching style, this is sort of thing. And you go, I'd imagine Luke, when LeBron had Tyronn Lue, who everyone says is an amazing coach. Well, it was because LeBron told him what to do coaching-wise. He bullied him quite a lot in that stuff, fair to say, when they were at Cleveland.
I can't see him bullying JJ Redick.
Exactly.
I think he would just go, you coach, see you later.
But there is an element of, he still would be a bit of a puppet.
He's got a great basketball mind. Listen to his podcast. Is a great podcast. I really like his podcast.
Well, him and LeBron's podcast is fantastic. They
I just like JJ Redick as he's giving for him to become a coach. He's giving up a career in.
He's been in the media for a while now,
in
and
media.
He's outspoken. That's the bit we like, isn't it? That he does that. But it's really interesting they've done that because the other head coach, where has he gone? He's gone to Milwaukee. He's now he's an assistant coach under Doc Rivers. He's just signed up for it. So there's all these changes that are going to be coming in the NBA over the summer. It's going to be really fruity. That's for sure.
Well, I got some news for you, Mark. One of our listeners sent this in, and it was so funny. I said I'm going to read that out on the podcast.
Oh no!
So this one's for you. He was watching the NBA finals, and we had a bit of back and forth about times and stuff like that, like timings, and he said, when a woman says 5 minutes, think like 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and both teams have all their timeouts still. What a legend!
Yeah, that's 100% right. And challenges as well, not just
challenges.
Yeah, not just timeouts.
When a woman says that, think that. Yeah,
I'll be ready in 5 minutes. No. Okay, I've got time for this next episode of Stranger Things. That's fine.
Yeah, and I guess the other thing I was going to say is, I'll be honest, I'm getting bored with the WNBA because of all the drama, and I think
switched off.
I think the WNBA. Well, I get really irritated with the whole Caitlin Clark and all that. They're talking about. Look, if snowflake warning right now. Here we go. Hang on. Let me get to the little. Snowflakes, please turn off now. Right. That sounded good, didn't it? But there's so much talking like, she's just a media thing because she's white. It's like, shut up. I didn't even know of who Caitlin Clark was until someone said about this young lady doing scoring, breaking scoring records. And it was like, okay. I didn't know if she was black or white. I didn't really care, if I'm honest with you. But I watched the game to see, all right, who is this girl?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, first shot I saw, it was like from the halfway line. It was like, bloody hell. And I was like, said to you, man, this girl can shoot.
Yeah.
Jeez, this girl can shoot. But it was something that we didn't really expect. And that's how we started to talk about her. And she's breaking all these records. And then it's like she's gone into the NBA and this media frenzy has followed her.
Yeah.
And you've got teams now. There was one last week that normally played to about 3,000, 4,000. They've just cancelled that to go and play in another arena, which is going to be 16,500 people. And it's sold out. And it's like, and that everyone's running her down.
They had 20,000 in one of the recent games.
It's
and what's
like,
funny is they said, why are they behind this person and that person when their teams are like 3 for 11 or something? And you go, Yeah, I mean, it's a fair point. They're not, the teams are doing very well in the league currently. They play 3 for 5, whereas.
But same thing with Magic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, he wasn't going to a championship winning team when he turned up. I mean, look, in his first season, he did win a championship. But there are loads of Jordan, he had a media circus. But there's all these things going around now saying, oh, the media are taking pictures of us. We don't like it. It's like, this is what you wanted.
Yeah.
Recognition. You wanted 20,000 people coming to your thing. And now it's not turning up the way you want it. It's like, look, shut up. Say thank you, because you guys are all about to get some big contracts coming up soon. How you get there, who cares? Like, it's,
and you know, they try and put the context of was it Angel Reese, for example, with certain things, and you go, things get spun saying she's saying, well, and me too, and it's like, well, she's actually got a right to say that because part of the whole hype in the college was
her. Yeah,
her.
I agree.
And it's like, yeah, she actually has a right to say that. However, both of those players, I won't say the mistake is that they go, they are rookies. And when you take, there's a context, and I think it's Chimey. She does commentary over in the States for the NBA, or the WNBA rather. Ex-player, very well respected. She put it in the best context possible. When there was that foul that was committed on Caitlin Clark, and it was an off-the-ball foul by, I genuinely have forgotten the name of the player.
Doesn't matter.
It was Carter, I think it was her surname, but I've forgotten the first name. But it was literally an off-the-ball foul. Like there was nothing going on. She just went over to her and just shoved her on the floor, and you're like, well, that is like. And the reason that it got in the media thing was just like, well, what was that for? It was an off-the-ball. That's like a flagrant one. The refs only just said it was a in-game foul, and you're like.
But if it's the other way around, it's like, oh, she's getting away with it.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God.
So what she did was put the context on it and said, right, first of all, no, that is not normal basketball play. That is an off-the-ball foul. Sure enough, the WNBA the next day
they said it, didn't they?
upgraded it to a flagrant one. And you go, well, yeah, because it was. It doesn't matter what player it was. You can't do that. NBA or WNBA. The next thing was they went, the player who did that has been kicked off the last 3 teams that she's been on for bad behaviour with her own teammates, like fighting them and stuff. So that player himself has it. That one player.
Yeah. She's like, I'm annoyed I'm on a bus and you're on a plane.
Exactly. But she also said it applies to both players. One player or 2 players does not resemble a league. Like, there are people in the league who've been playing in WNBA for 10 years, 8 years, 6 years. Like,
and I think they're the ones who getting pissed off because they're like, hang on, I've been here for 10 years.
Exactly. They've been
and
grafting
now
away.
you care.
Yeah.
But I think it's the injection of the rookies.
Yeah.
Alongside them, I mean, you got Cameron Brink for the Sparks.
Your favourite.
Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? Oh, hang on, quick. Snowflake warning. Please turn off now. Oh, she's lovely, isn't she? Yeah, she's lovely. She's gorgeous.
But you've got, like, you know, people are talking about the shooters. Sabrina Ionescu played against Steph in the All-Star game, wasn't it? It was Steph versus Sabrina. It's like, yet people haven't forgotten about these players. They're all there in the league and they're getting all the big points because they're the main players of the teams. It's just that this whole surge has brought new people to the team. It's like, doesn't matter how you get there, but dare I say, it's one of those things where it's like, be careful what you wish for. Because you said, we want more money. We want more people to take notice. We want the limelight. We want the press. We want the media. We deserve it, and we play this. Okay, we've given you all that, and you've now got all the eyes on you, and you've got maybe more eyes on you, and you don't know what to do with it. It's like, stop beating each other up and putting each other down. Like, celebrate that people are interested in watching the sport, because you've spent so long saying no one's watching. Everyone is now watching. And so now you've got to think, oh, we can't play like we used to either.
Yeah.
And you've got to give a good product, because the WNBA, and Adam Silver will say this about the NBA, it's a product.
Yeah.
You're an entertainer.
So when you pass to the opposition, that's not a good product.
No.
Did you see that one? She's talking. Well, I don't know who it was. I just saw the thing. She's talking to coach, and the coach is like, "Well, you need to audition." She goes, "Yeah," and she inbounds the ball to the opposition, who then bricks a 3,
It's
and then there's a
just-
fight for rebound and
like-
it goes out of bounds.
You couldn't get those two team colours more mixed up. It was definitely a dark colour and definitely a light colour. It was like you couldn't have gone, oh, it's slightly off. No, you never would have got that mixed up. But you've got to give that product, because what's going to happen? I know the season's short, but everyone's going to have this bubble about everything going on. And then what? If you're going to keep beating up the rookies, there's nothing wrong with razzing a rookie, by the way. I think you and I both would agree. If you're the junior, you got to pay your dues. Michael Jordan had it. Kobe had it. Everyone had it. If you're the junior, you pay your dues.
Well, I think the entire league is gunning for Caitlin Clark at the moment,
and that's the bit that I think you sent me the clip with the one who took the free throw
and
then ran over and shouted in her face.
It's just weird. It's just like, look, it's
odd,
bringing you all a payday, and I want to say it's a bit whingy or toxic behaviour that you're doing with it. People like me and you just going, oh, we're just switching off to it.
Yeah.
Like, come on, you switch off, and that's what you don't want.
So, do you know what I will say in a positive light? Is that some of the games I've seen of the WNBA, and I'll be first.
They do pass to the right players. Oh, hang on. Damn it. Sorry, mate.
Go on.
Snowflake warning. Please turn off now. What, they pass to their own players?
Well, some of the quality basketball I've seen has actually been really, really entertaining to watch. Yeah. But what I think they need to do is take a leaf out of the book of, in particular, the British English Women's Lions. Because you look at the Women's Lions going through and winning the trophy, and how people got behind it. And as the momentum grew and the momentum grew, more and more people got behind it. Now, look at how many more girls are going into the sport. Look at how many more, it's all positive, and people are watching it. It's out.
Oh, sorry. Are you talking the football lines?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
Not
about. The football. The football lines.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say you can say the London lines as well, because the women's London lines done fantastically well.
The England Lionesses, you mean?
The Lionesses in the football or soccer for our American friends.
Yeah, that massively changed stuff over here.
But it changed the mentality, and you look at a lot of people who would look at football is football, and this is it, and it's like a sacred sport in the UK. And yet it was embraced as soon as the women's team, they were getting further and they were doing better year on year, not just in this one tournament, year on year. And it culminated to a point where every single person who liked football was behind them. And what I think the ladies in the WNBA don't understand is that, we want you to do well. We're like, do well, but you're using all your energy to just moan. And it's like,
guys, ladies, we're not interested in listening to whinge. We will turn off.
Put that energy and show it on the court.
We just go, oh, okay.
Like, you're doing press conferences like you guys have made it. It's like you've just made it this one season. Like there's people who have been before you, and you've got to like respect the fact that there are people who are before you. But the people who were before you, if people are coming and bringing new money to the table and allowing you to have things that you hoped you'd have, embrace that, and you should roll with it.
What I will say is Caitlin Clark's attitude to all this is, I think, says something about her.
It just really staying away from it, isn't she?
She's just going, well, I'm a rookie, I'm going to get hit, blah, blah, blah. And she's just going, yeah, I'm accepting game's a physical game. And then she's turning around and going, well, I haven't got in the US team. I'm going to use that opportunity to go to the gym and put a bit of muscle on. Like, that's her attitude. And I think that's just commendable. But yeah, because they're all moaning, Mark, I think we should stop talking about it.
Yeah.
Like today. Maybe another day.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah, absolutely. But what?
I got one other thing from our listeners.
Oh no. Could it get any worse than that?
Yes.
I did get
This is from a listener.
I did get sent one clip, which was great, and my daughter enjoyed it. Someone randomly, don't know who it was, I'll have to look up, there's some crazy username. They said, you'll like this. And it was an otter playing basketball.
Oh, nice.
I just thought, yeah.
Did you get any artwork? I know we talked about that.
Haven't got any artwork. No, I got the otter.
Oh.
So but I was happy with that.
I got sent this picture, and
oh God,
someone sent me this picture they've put together of the worst NBA player possible.
Oh, is it a picture of me?
It's not. So they've started with LeBron James's hairline.
What, the front hairline or the back hairline?
I don't know. The front, I think, before he had treatment. Allegedly.
I'm not. I'm nowhere. Can I throw stones in that particular greenhouse?
Next, he goes on to Anthony Davis' eyebrows.
Ooh, the brow.
Draymond Green's shooting form. Shaq's build.
I'm guessing we're talking Phoenix Shaq there.
Isaiah Thomas's height.
They could have gone with Muggsy Bogues. He was 5'6", wasn't he?
DeAndre Jordan's handles.
Oh yeah, DeAndre Jordan. Yeah, don't want that.
Ben Simmons' jumper. This is the best bit. He put Chris Paul's ability to win a ring. Oh, Derrick Rose's knees.
Oh no, come on! I like D Rose.
And Kevin Durant's shoe size. Oh dear.
Yeah, you don't want that.
That was a funny little
You
collection.
don't want
isn't it?
that at all.
Look, there's a little. We put a little picture of it all together. There you go. Look.
What is that? What's weird is that it kind of looks like James Harden. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
dear.
that's not. You don't want a bad player like that.
Very cool. Also, I got to say yes to two listeners. A lot of people said they liked our politicians edition, Mark, where we talked
Really?
about politicians. You know, where we said about Churchill would be like the best coach to do a speech.
Yeah.
Yep. I had two more politicians that got messaged to me.
Two more politicians.
Two more that they said, what about this? So I can't really do an accent or anything like that for this one, but
We've established that.
one said, what about Coach Biden? Coach Biden. And then they said, problem is he'll fall asleep at the start of the game and he'll wake up at the end of the game. Where's the court?
I think a few coaches have done that this season. That's for
Oh
sure.
dear. The other one is, and I've got to do this. Snowflake warning to all our French listeners.
Oh
It's-
no. We're going internationally. International abuse now.
This isn't from me. This is from one of our listeners.
Really.
And he said, what about? He said it doesn't have to be Macron. It can be any French president.
No.
But as the game starts, there's a loud bang in the crowd, and the French president, as coach, turns around to the referees and say, "We surrender. We don't want to play. We give up. We're not playing anymore."
Je suis désolé. And just throws a towel in. Yeah. Nice.
And then they all run to the changing room. Anyway, that was from our listeners. I do listen to the listeners. I may not reply, but there you go.
You listen to the listeners that
listeners
listen
to
you.
listeners. Yeah.
Ooh.
And
you?
yeah, I may not reply, but I always read them. So that's a little bit of an injection from our listeners into the show, Mark.
Yeah, we want to get more interactive, but we're gonna probably, once the NBA wraps, we'll probably take a tiny little break. We'll still be doing our interviews, but we do them in the head so that we can.
We've got some fantastic guests coming up.
Yeah, we do have. Oh yeah, definitely.
Is
So
this
we-
show coming out this week? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna put
Okay,
this out
so
this week.
we've got a politician coming on next week. I think that'll be a good one. Mark's not keen. But you talk a lot about why can't we invest more?
No, I agree.
You go on about that a lot. That is the person you want to talk to about it.
I
think.
agree full-heartedly with the reasoning behind it. I just,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I do not have faith in our political system
Well,
or any political system around most countries.
well, what I have said to the guy coming on is, look, we're gonna do the show from a completely neutral perspective. We're taking politics out of it, and we're just going to talk about what can we do to improve the sport, and let's see what happens. I have got another MP. This will make you smile. That will come onto the show. An actual MP is going to come onto the show if they get re-elected. So we'll see. I won't tell you who it is because it would be mean. But
you can have my vote.
if someone gets re-elected, they'll come on the show.
Well, I mean, that's cool. That's cool. if they wanna do
But
that.
again, it's taken all these things that we're talking about with people all throughout the country of how can we do it. And you're talking now about the people in charge. I think they're the right people to have a conversation. I'm not saying it's all going to change and go, we got an arena in Portsmouth, but I think they're the people to talk to, and I think it'll be interesting. And at the end of these shows, we'll realise, do people actually care about it at that level, or is it, or do they not? I don't know.
No, I think you're right, because there's a lot of fragmentation, certainly in the UK, with basketball. It's the second most played group or team sport in the UK, and yet for some reason it's all fragmented and there's no consistency and people don't have access, and there's lots of challenges. So the question is, what is it that we can do to actually break it down so that people not only can access it, but we've just had some good interviews with people who do academies and people who do coaching and people who've seen the best of the best in terms of facilities and engagement and all those, and money and all those sort of things. And it's not a simple answer. So the people who hold the money are the politicians. And
I think that'd be great.
If they can tell us, like, how does someone get that?
And I could be wrong. I think we're going to make British podcast history next week by having a politician on a UK basketball podcast. I don't know anyone else who's brought a politician on. It's always been someone within coach, player, owner, something like that. So,
and the week after we'll bring a gardener in to talk about it as well.
How they do the outside,
they do the flowers outside of an arena, because I bet no one's brought that in either, and they possibly could hold equal value.
We'll see, Mark. We'll see. I genuinely think there's
it's great because we get to play devil's advocates, and you can be the positive podcast. And
no, we're not going to be negative.
I'm not.
We're going to be absolute neutral and talk about all those things you want to talk about. No negativity. We're not doing it. So, yeah, but we got some great guests coming on the show. Got some good ones coming. And
it is cool that we're getting people who are willing to come and talk to us as well.
And we got some more BBL clubs coming on soon. So I don't want to say names, but
there's 3 or 4 people lined up. We've got some people who may or may not be in broadcast. We've got some other people. There's 2 people who may or may not have played in the NBA that may be available. But
damn,
yeah, I know. There's some.
You working on that one, are you?
Yeah, I'm working on a few people. But again,
is it Shaq?
No, it's surprisingly not.
Oh, he's like one of my favourite.
Do you know why?
Media people.
I think it's because he would just be so overwhelmed by our presence.
Yeah.
He just
imagine Shaq sitting where we are.
He ain't fitting.
He would be like, he would fit in it, but he'd be like, his legs would be over there.
Hey, listen, he comes, if he can get in that door for a start, it'd be amazing. And then he'd walk in, I'll be like, look, this says here, no livestock. You can't sit on this. This is like a 2-person seat, and you're like 5 people. So
no, I love Shaq. I think he if you really listen to some of the things he has, gold nuggets that he says to people.
Yeah, he's made a lot of mistakes in life.
Absolutely gold nuggets.
And he's made a lot of he's done so well with basketball, but he's made lots of mistakes and lots of other things, and that's where he's
like what he's trying to say to Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
he's trying to give him a little bit of advice there, and it was like, I don't understand. You go, right, I'm going to break this down for you. Don't do what me and Kobe did. Who's the best player? Win a championship. Like, he has got some absolute golden nuggets for advice. So yeah, I love listening to him.
Yeah, well, Shaq, if you're listening, get on the case. We'll be happy to have you.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, so we've got loads of those coming up, and we're going to do loads of stuff in the off season, so we're not going to be going anywhere, but there just won't be basketball updates other than the Olympics, of course. So
we're not having a break then?
No, but only a little one. Anyway, that's enough for me. I've been Mark.
I've been Paul. Look. Goodbye.
And Paul's covering the badminton Olympics, by the way.
There is 0 coverage from me for badminton.
What if Britain get in the final?
They can, and she's not doing it. All right?